operator for the River City Arc Slow Scan TV Net. This net serves for training and practice in image transmission modes and meets Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. on the N6NA repeater on 441.30 MHz. River City Arc's members and all licensed radio amateurs are welcome to participate. If you wish to join the net or need to make a call at any time, please announce your call sign between transmissions and net control will acknowledge you. If an emergency should arise and you need the repeater, please contact the net control by saying break break. A double break signifies emergency traffic. The net will stand by for you until the emergency is terminated or the traffic is moved to another frequency. Stations who wish to check in are asked to respond with their full call sign using the recognized ITU phonetic alphabet and their name. I will recognize each station before continuing. Any station who wishes to check into the net, please come now.
November 6, Papa Golf, Quebec, Bob.
Alpha India 6, Delta Golf, Joel.
Kilo Papa 4, Mike Delta Carol.
All right, I got Bob at November 6, Papa Golf, Quebec, Joel, Alpha India 6, Delta Golf, and Carol, Kilo Papa 4, Mike Delta. Thanks for checking into the net this evening. Do we have any other check-ins? All right, well, what I'll do is we'll always onboard any late check-ins when they come, and just want to say hello to the YouTube viewers if you're out there, if you're monitoring us. I do appreciate your presence and supporting the cast. So thank you, N6EMF here. What I'll do if we have no other check-ins. Any other check-ins? All right, Bob, N6PGQ, you're up. If you're ready to transmit a photo, go right ahead.
Okay, this is going to be PD 120.
That's quite an interesting photograph I was able to copy with just a few pixel pops. Don't know what else to call them, but nice job, Bob. I was able to copy a good photo there, and I'm going to pass this right along to Joel, AI6TG. Were you able to copy?
So first off, is that anyone else picking up any interference on the repeater frequency, the 140, 141.3? I've got my squelch turned off, and I've got interference. And I just wanted to know if it's local or if anyone else is hearing it.
I'm not hearing any interference, not audibly, no.
Yeah, I'm hearing the Bay Area repeaters on this frequency. We have some propagation tonight. Over.
Okay, looking at the picture, so we got DE-N6PGQ in the upper right corner, and it's kind of all white at top and all white at the bottom. And then in the middle of the picture, the middle half, it looks like it's maybe a pipe going left to right, and it's kind of a gray silver color with light shadows from however it's being lit. And there's a hole in the center, so because it's dark, in kind of a wedge triangle shape to the left and to the right of that rectangular hole in the center with little rectangle-like pieces of metal on top and on bottom, and the same with the triangular wedge things going to the left and to the right. So it looks kind of weird, but my guess is this is the whole part of either a pipe organ pipe or a steam whistle off of a locomotive or something. But it looks really weird. You can't really figure out what it is unless you know what it is, I think. Back to net, AI6TG.
Yeah, well, thanks for that, Joel. I have this perspective that it might be like the head of a snake and blown up, and it's the eyeball of a snake with the vertically oriented slit. That's my imagination running wild, but to me it looks like something that's in the earth or cut into kind of a concrete slab poured into a section of the landscape that's kind of like maybe an earthen mound bunker or something. That's just kind of some impressions that I have from looking at it. But like a white sands type of beach on the foreground and some type of mineral soil in the background with this eye in the middle. But anyway, that's my crazy, wild impression. And how about Carol? Were you able to copy?
Oh, yeah, this is Carol, KP4MD. Well, the first thing that comes to mind, I'm thinking of you're looking down on a kayak. It looks kind of like a kayak, one of those enclosed kinds. I just wanted to say we have some viewers on YouTube. Neil, KL7HQR, is back in his home state of Alaska aboard the Majestic Princess, and he's not missing the net. He is watching us, so he's waving from Alaska. And Alf, Kilo November 6 Papa Romeo Delta, is also checking in and watching us. So back to net control. This is KP4MD.
All right, thanks for that, KP4MD, this N6EMF, and giving a shout out to both Alf and Neil. That's KN6PRD and KL7HQR. Be safe out there and enjoy your time away, Neil. We'll be waiting for you, and have a great time, you and yours. Okay, have a good evening. I'll say something to you again on the way towards closing the show. All right, thanks for that. How about Bob, November 6 PGQ? Would you like to reveal the secret behind this image?
Well, Joel just about aced it. This is a portion of a pipe organ pipe, just like he mentioned. And what you're looking at in a pipe organ, the black rectangle that you see in the middle is what's called a window, and that's the opening that produces sound. And inside is, if you look carefully at the very left of the black, you'll see a ledge in there, and that's called a labium, L-A-B-I-U-M, or an edge, and that's where the air hits, and it splits, and some of the air goes out of the hole, and some of the air remains in the pipe and vibrates, which gives you the organ sound. And this is a flute pipe. The size of this one is about, I'd say about 3 inches in diameter. So it's one of the upper register, but not the highest register in that particular rank of pipes. And so that's what you're looking at. If you look carefully, it's all handmade. There's soldered blobs on the left triangle portion near the top, and those horizontal rectangles are tabs that are bent over and soldered on to help hold the brass piece onto the pipe. All these pipes were and are handmade. There's no machined organ pipes that I know of that are made. And so with that, I'll let this break for a second. And if we have a couple of seconds, I'm missing the health and welfare net. So you ready for this? Why are organ donations low?
Why are organ donations low? Well, because nobody charges to have you come pick them up? I don't know. Go ahead, Bob.
Well, the answer is because most people have pianos.
That's hilarious. Most people have pianos. That's why organ donations are low.
Okay, and what do you call a woman playing a Hammond?
Give it a shot, Joel.
Okay, ham's got to be in there somewhere. A ham head?
Nope, you called her Leslie. So anyway, that's for Gert and Hank, who have a Hammond organ, but they aren't on this. So anyway, I'll let you go and get rid of the music jokes for the night. N6PGQ.
Very good. Thanks for sharing this photo. It's actually intriguing. I mean, if you didn't know anything about pipe organs, your imagination could go just anywhere with this thing. I mean, and the perspective and the scale of the photo is just really you'd have to know what you're looking at. How's that? Go ahead, Joel.
Actually, comment in question. I mean, I'm kind of wondering how old this pipe is and the organ it's out of. But I just want to bring up that one of the reasons that I kind of knew what this was is, remember way back when the thing was all these pizza places where they'd have a pipe organ and you'd order your pizza and sit down and eat your pizza while someone was playing a pipe organ? Well, I don't know if there were a lot of them, but there was one really nice one with a nice organ near the intersection of Manzanita and, I think it was Winding Way. But there were more than one of these in town. God, I guess I'm dating myself.
No, hello, this is Bob again. You're not dating yourself. There was a place on Arden Way called Pizza and Pipes, and that organ came from the Carl Greer Inn, which was on Fulton and Business 80. Then it disappeared and went off into the Bay Area. And just as an aside, if you're ever at the DX convention and they have a theater pipe organ concert at the Fox Theater in Visalia, you need to go and listen to Bob Heil play pipe organ. He is good, and the concert's really good, and the organ there is in phenomenal shape, and the theater's really cool. So if they ever do that concert there at a DX convention, you really need to go just for that. N6PGQ.
right ahead.
If you could confirm that I've got tone, please.
No tone. You've got tone.
PD 120.
Nice one, Joel. I was able to copy a photo with the background of a suspension bridge. I always want to say it's the Golden Gate Bridge, and it might be, but I can't be sure. I've never seen a picture of this bridge from this perspective, but it looks like a water pumping facility or a water retention type facility here. I'm not sure if that's what it is, but anyway, it's a landscape photo with a bridge in the background and a water retention type facility in the foreground or something else, and then an ocean or a bay and a city in the background. So kind of a blue sky with a overcast, and I do see an array of pixel pops, but they've got the AI6DG at the bottom. Can't wait to hear what this is about. Okay, so Bob, N6PGQ, were you able to copy?
Yeah, quality came through real well. You can see the suspension bridge in the right and the city in the background. And if I were to make a guess, and some of my guesses are way out there, this picture was taken at Fort Point, and that's a Canon base at the bottom with the stairs leading down to it to protect the bay from whoever it was at the time. This one, I think, was one of the later ones, not Revolutionary War time, or excuse me, Civil War time, but World War I-ish, where you were protecting the bay from shipping, and that's San Francisco in the background. And N6PGQ.
Yeah, I was bordering on saying it was San Francisco. I think you're right. And I guess, would this be, I don't know, neighborhood of Presidio or something else? Okay, well, how about Carol? What do you say? KP4MD?
Okay, this is KP4MD. I'm going to say, yeah, this is one of the historical batteries that are overlooking the entrance to San Francisco Bay. I'm going to say it's on the north side of the inlet there. There are, I believe, a number of batteries that are on heights there that had cannon in places, emplacements. And that's all I can say. I don't know the particulars of that particular one, but that's what I'm going to go with. And oh, we've got Alf says he knows that place, and those are missile gun turrets. That's what Alf says. And Neil says he's 1 hour earlier than we are, monitoring the net while listening to the naturalist describe nature while moving south through a tight inlet. One K, 1,000 feet deep. So that's from YouTube chat. So back to net. This is KP4MD.
All right, wonderful. Thanks for the updates from both Alf and Neil. Hello out there. All right, so why would I be thinking this is a water retention? Anyway, I guess I'm not used to seeing missiles or hearing about them. But anyway, thanks for that, Carol, and good photo, Joel. So guess we'll turn it over to you for a narrative on your photo. Go right ahead.
Oh, you guys all got it pretty good. Took some of the bite out of my talk, but yes, that's the Golden Gate on the north side. So we're in Marin County, and we're looking out through the suspension wires at San Francisco back in the distance. So this is definitely something that would be worth going full screen, although the resolution loses a lot of it. And there's a lot of history down in the San Francisco Bay Area, and a lot of it is military. You may or may not know just how much military is down there. But it goes back all the way to the Civil War, and there are gun emplacements and site, lookout stations all around the Bay Area and up and down the coast in that area also. And a lot of it's World War II. And I would assume that this is a World War II turret emplacement, and of course the turret and the barrel and the gun have all been removed. In fact, there's a really neat scene in one of the Terminator movies, a little bit further out on the Marin Headlands on the high point, where with explosions and fire and the whole bit. At a big emplacement at the high point along the road that goes out to the point in the lighthouse. But I know there's similar emplacements on the opposite side of the bay, on the south side, over on the city side, and right by the bay. Right by the toll house, the toll area on the south side of the Golden Gate Bridge, where you can park and play tourist and start walking across the bridge. If you instead walk down along the coast down towards Crissy Field, there's some more gun emplacements, and those are old ones. Those go back to Civil War era, I think. But I'm sure that there's more on like Alcatraz and so forth. In fact, that's what Alcatraz was originally. It was supposed to be a fort to protect the bay. But this is a beautiful day, a beautiful spot. Parking's the main problem because everyone has the same idea. They want to park the car and get out and take in the amazing view of the bay and San Francisco here and look at the history. Most of it's gone, but all you have left is the cement. But it's still well worth the stop if you can find a place to park. And that's true for all the other spots along the road out, going out towards the Marin Headland. So back to Nancy.
Interesting stuff. Yeah, thanks, Joel. You're right. There is a lot of military history around there. To be brief, my dad worked at the Presidio, and that he worked at the Nike missile site up in Marin somewhere, just north of Marin, or in the Marin County area. And there's some stories I could tell you about that from very early childhood, but I can barely remember. I have to My dad reminds me of these stories, things that I don't remember, but I could tell the stories because I've heard them so many times. But anyway, very interesting. And any other comments or questions on that that missile site there? All right. Well, fun stuff. Yeah, thanks for that. How about Carol? Do you like to send a photo this evening? All right, Carol, KP4MD, I was able to copy your photo, and it's nice color spectrum. It looks like some kind of bottle with an interesting label on it, and the label is it's a dark colored bottle. It looks like something like a whiskey bottle that's dark in color, maybe, but or a medicine bottle, a cough medicine bottle or something. But it's got a label on it that has dits and DAWs in bold on top, kind of etched through the label maybe, or black on beige. But it says Morse code at the bottom, 2014 something, South Australia. And I see 3 dits, and I see 4 dits and 2 dits, so I guess that's S. And did. Now, why can't I remember what that is? Did it is I. And, did, I guess that's R, and did-da, that's A, and da, did it, that's Z. What would that be? Maybe I'm being absent-minded. But anyway, that's what I can read, and looks quite interesting. There's a whole bunch of things around it, like other beverage bottles. So there's my read on the photo, and it was fun trying to read it. So N6EMF here in Net Control, I'll pass it on to Bob, N6PGQ. Go right ahead.
Okay, what I can see is just what you said, S-H-I-R-A-Z, Shiraz, so it's probably the type of wine, and then it says Morse code at the bottom, 2014, Shiraz, and South Australia. And it looks like a nice bottle of wine, which I'd like to have in my collection. That's kind of cool. As you said, you can see the other adult beverages in the back, and it's sitting on a gray-ish tabletop, and it looks like there's still maybe some in there, but who knows? N6PGQ.
Yeah, that's great. I forgot what the H did it. All right, very good, Bob. Nice decoding on the Morse code there. And yeah, so how about Joel, AI6DG?
Well, it's all been said pretty well. You know, wine bottle, Morse code, what the code says. I'm glad someone figured it out, because I just don't know my Morse code. I would have had to Google it. And I'm curious whether the wine shop is here in town, here in the States, or over in Australia.
You've dropped.
Yeah, I kind of jumped when my headphones are warning me that the battery's running low in them. So I wasn't sure what happened. And I was about done saying things anyway. So back to Net.
All right. Well, this is an especially fun one, and I'm deeply embarrassed that I couldn't decipher the H, the did it. Mike W. Oh gosh, I would be my Morse code instructor would just kill me for that. So go right ahead, Carl. Would you like to give a narrative on what you sent? Very nice.
Okay, yeah, this is KP4MD. This is, as you say, a bottle of Shiraz 2014. I actually found this on the internet, and I figured that that Wilson would ace it. You know, just having completed the Morse code course, I wanted to see if he was doing his homework, and he got pretty good. You know, out of 6 characters, you got 5, which I think is a passing grade. But yeah, I don't have this wine. I think it'd be interesting to have a bottle of this, perhaps at one of our Christmas parties, or it might be really appropriate for the W6 SFM club to do that. Anywho, I thought it was a curiosity, and it was appropriate for the net, so that's why I shared the picture. And Neil got it right away. He typed in the chat there, Shiraz Great Wine 2014, good year. So back to Net. This is KP4MT.
All right, a round of applause and a thumbs up going out to Neil. And nice work, Neil, on the decode. Yeah, thanks, Carol. That was a little over 80% code. Probably would have figured it out eventually, but I haven't been practicing that much. In the morning, I get up, and sometimes I'll grab my practice key and go through the alphabet, and that's about all I have the will or the time for right now. So anyway, yeah, so let me see if there's any other comments or questions on the photo, which I really enjoyed. One last comment about it: it was horizontally oriented. It didn't make its way upright, but still, it came across nice.
I have a question. Carol, is this stuff still available, and where did you find it online?
I don't know if it's still available. All I did was I Googled Morse code wine, and Google picture came up with this. I guess you could do the same and see if it's available anywhere. I mean, it's an Australian wine, so I don't know if there are many stores around here that carry that stuff. Over.
Okay, good. Well, that's intriguing. 6PGQ.
I think you pulled a good one there, Carol. We all got a kick out of that. And I suppose if you drink enough wine, any bottle can have dits and daws on it if you really think about it. That was another bad joke. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and transmit a photo. It's I'm kind of low on stock, but I'm going to send what I have, and hopefully we get some enjoyment out of it. PD 120 coming right up. N6 EMF. All right, there was a photo sent by Net Control N6 EMF. I'll turn it over to Bob for comments, or were you able to copy?
Well, here I am. I was able to copy it. It looks good. Hang on one second. I'm trying to get rid of this silly thing. It won't. I don't know what this thing is. It's a pyramid-shaped building. I don't know if it's the... Whoops, hang on. Just drop the microphone. Yeah, sounds like something that people would do. I don't know if it's that, what do they call it, the ziggurat building in West Sacramento. There's a parking lot, so it's not sand. It's not in Egypt. And the trees don't look right for Egypt, but what the heck, it's came through real well. I've got the version of the slow scan TV at the top and N6 EMF, and not very many pops. Came out real nice. N6 PGQ.
All right, well, thank you for that, Bob. How about Carol, KP4MD? Any comments, questions?
Okay, this is KP4MD. I'm going to guess, probably wrong, but I know there's some casinos shaped like this in Reno. I think there's one in Las Vegas, so it might be one of those. KP4MD, back to Net.
All right, well, thank you, Carol. Joel, AI6DG, were you able to copy?
Yeah, pretty good. A little bit of interference. I think whatever my interference is not generally strong enough to interfere with the repeater, but sometimes I think it is because I get some lines, little slurs. So we got a parking lot. We got some trees in the parking lot in the foreground. Behind that, there's a couple of rows of some sort of palm tree-like plant, and behind that, we've got a pyramid. I mean, it's a silver-based pyramid. It's probably glass or metal. It's definitely not sand. It's definitely not rock, so it's not Egypt. So I'm trying to think of where are there pyramids like this. Well, it's not Luxor in Las Vegas. This just doesn't look like Las Vegas or the Luxor in Las Vegas. So the next thing in my mind is Memphis, Tennessee has got a pyramid of some kind, and I actually think now it's a big sports shop, but it's gone through a couple of uses. What's that big sports? What's that big sports chain that always has huge, monstrously sized stores? Anyway, I got one interesting thing is I see a moire pattern on the pyramid, an aliasing pattern. So there's some pattern on the pyramid itself that's interacting with the resolution of the image and the whole pixelization process of modern photography. Back to Net AI6TG.
All right, so thank you for that, Joel. I'll give you the quick story. Is that I talked about a couple weeks ago a family vacation we took down in Southern California. So one of our destinations would have been CSU Long Beach to visit something called the Earl Burns Japanese Garden. So we were going to spend a half day there and walk around in the garden and just look at beautiful things there. But when we got into the vicinity, the first thing we noticed was this huge pyramid. I mean, it's just it just overwhelms the skyline and the landscape when you approach the CSU Long Beach campus. As you're coming in, it just overwhelms the whole landscape, and when you first see it, you're like, what is that? And then as you get closer and closer, it gets bigger and bigger, but it looks like something from out of this world. It's so huge, but it's about 18 stories tall, believe it or not. It seats 4,000 people, and it's a general purpose indoor type of stadium at the CSU Long Beach campus, so California State University Long Beach campus down in Long Beach, California. So that's where we were, and I was just took a few photographs of this. And this isn't the photo I wanted to send, but this is the one that I could get to fit right. For some reason, there were all sorts of conversion issues trying to get this to go across. But anyway, that is corrugated aluminum, and it's blue, and it's just really beautiful. And it was the original name of it was something like it was called the I forgot the name of it, but anyway, it's called the Walter Pyramid because the vice president of the Levi Strauss Company, he and his wife, his name was Walter and something else, they donated some money to the campus for this, and it was like a $2 or $3 million donation. So they, and he was also the dean of the Long Beach College of Business Administration. So that's just kind of a factoid I picked up off of Wikipedia. But if you're ever down there, this Earl Burns Japanese Garden is something to see, but I didn't get a chance to see it because it was closed due to the pandemic. And the other thing is this pyramid, you just can't miss it. It will just blow you away if you get a chance to see it. So that's my story. Thank you for the questions and the comments. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I guess I'll get ready to close out the net in just a moment if there's no more comments or questions or other topics of interest. All right, we got ourselves a cast of sleepyheads tonight. That's great. So we're going to wish Neil, KL7HQR, and Alf, KN6PRD, both a very good evening. And thanks for dropping in on the YouTube net. Hope to see you again. And what I'll do is see the net. Want to express appreciation to Carol for running the YouTube channel. And, thanks to everybody else who participated in tonight's SSTV Net. Hope to see you again next Wednesday night at 9 o'clock p.m. This net is officially closed. It might be a record in a long time, but it's 9:43 Pacific time. And this is Wilson, November 6 Echo Mike Foxtrot, wishing all of you a good evening. 73.